Preacher and his wife and two children lived in a Japanese house across the street. And we could just walk back and forth and visit. They were a lovely couple to live next door, not next door, but across the street from them. And little old Mexican children.
Mexican children in Japan?
They talked Mexican.
In Japan?
No, they were
Japanese. Okay.
They talked Japanese. And little boys didn't wear diapers in the summertime. Take those diapers off and go wherever you are and you need to pee, go ahead and do it. And Mama was so glad because there's no diapers to wash. Oh, that was fun. But the little boys didn't care. I thought they let them go naked in the summertime too long because sometimes they'd put a little shirt over their back in front and put a little cap on. They could go in the sunshine and not blister because they were so wiggly little children. And they loved to go out with Mama, and they thought it was a stroller. It wasn't a stroller. It was more like a grocery cart because the little old children loved to ride in there and faster and slower and go that way and go the other way. Little old children. And when they'd pass an adult man, he would always pinch them on their privates. He thought it was fun, little old kids running around without pants on. He'd always go up to them and just squeeze just a little bit. And the boys thought it was fun. And the little girls didn't get squeezes. They didn't have anything in front to squeeze. And why a man wanted to squeeze a little 2-year-old, goodness knows, I guess Mama insisted because she didn't want to start having diapers.
Huh. So tell me about the house. Tell me about the water.
Okay. We had a jerry can. You may not know what a jerry can is, but it holds, I would guess, 6 gallons of water. That they'd get from the post that had been sterilized good and made healthy. And that's what we all had to drink. No, nothing from the faucet. Of course, we could turn the faucet on to wash dishes or put a stopper in the sink or a bathtub for the babies. It was more of a baby arrangement, I guess, than an adult, because when Mama or I would finish cooking dinner, we'd serve the plates. It had an opening from the, I guess they'd call it a serving bar. I don't know what else to call it. It's a window that you could serve through, an open window with a table across it that you could serve from there, or you could entertain and put several dishes up there, which we did. I could fill the dishes and put them up there in this window from the little serving room. And Dad always insisted that I put the gas plates towards their tables. He says long arm ones, or he himself preferred dishes closer to the kitchen on this little table. Yeah, I don't know what else to call it, but it's really a window from the kitchen to the dinette.
And you had paper doors.
Oh, paper doors, yes. From the dinette to the living room is a hallway. go to the hallway. Oh, that was all right. That was grand. In fact, it had your paper mats or paper flooring. You could walk on paper walls or hallways, not to sit down on because they were stuffed tight. And all you could do would be to pick up your feet and walk on them. But don't let the babies sit down in them because they're going to wet them. But that's all right too. My babies had to wear a diaper or panties. They didn't get to run around and pee everywhere.
So what happens if they did pee on the paper flooring? What, did the staff pick it up and replace the paper?
No, it was a tight web that could be laid down like a flooring.
Okay.
And if it got too soiled with grunt, they could just pick up the whole thing, and leaning up against the wall outside, squirt it with a hose to get all that lump out, and let it dry.
And then use it again.
And I guess use it, I could, other people, because they put another down for me to wear, for me to walk on. But you go on a little further and there's a paper door. It's a nice door. Has a good wooden frame. But it's little windows in it all over it. Not little, they're little, about the size of a window pane, or a little more narrow. But instead of glass, they had paper. And if you touched it with anything wet, it would leave that wet circle. When the wet circle dried, it would just be wet again, just a dull looking white. You couldn't peep through it, but you could peep between the doors where the wooden frame was. It didn't close tight enough. You want to see what's going on in the other room? You could just go open the door enough that you could peek, or you could hear anything and everything. And my bedroom was next to the hallway that run to the outdoors, except it had some wallpaper and glass frame on it. And we had a watchman because it was necessary. There's no ways of locking up your house. But we had this guy that came ever so often. And my bed was right next to the paper door. And I could close my paper door and he couldn't see in. But if my paper door wasn't closed and my little boy wanted to see outside, rather than tearing the paper out, I would open the door so that he could go in and out, and in and out. And every time the looker would pass, he'd always look in and wave at my children, my little boy, and wave at me if I was in there. If not, then he'd just go on his route of looking, inspecting. It was kind of nice, really, because I had doors that did not lock, and I preferred somebody looking every once in a while, about every hour, to be sure everything was okay. Another odd thing about living there, they had the open bath. A nice bath, a real nice bath. But it was a tub of water, and everybody bathed in it. And they were considerate of their self, because the men customary would be bathing just as it's turning dark, or light, either way, the very early or the very light. And when they finished their bath, the women would come along with their children, And the children loved that, jumping into that tub of water because it was sunk. Jump in, bathe, climb the board out, Mama give them a towel, they'd dress, they'd come out the door all nice and clean and dressed.
So was this public bath fed by the mountain water and the spring water?
I have no idea.
But that's what you had in the house. Cold
Yes.
water from the mountain and hot water from a spring. Did the cold water run through the house all the time?
No, I could turn the cold water on, but the hot water run all the time.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
And you had to keep two little boys from playing in it?
And that little Gene thought it was more fun to go jump in there when his dad was in there. Oh, it was so much fun. Until I said, all right, Daddy, you bathe your son, be sure he's nice and clean, and bring him out when you come out. And both of them come out just a grinning. And I thought, well, all right. Daddy's taking care of the bath for the big boy at 4 and 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. They both thought it was fun, but I kept the door closed whenever nobody was in there because I was afraid that little 5-year-old or 4 would go jump in the water, even without a daddy, and drowned.
Yep.
So I had to keep that door closed. It was unusual. First moved there, I had no bathroom. They put a bathroom commode with a circuit in it that would take care of itself. All I had to do was flush it just like you flush yours in the bathroom here. But it had a drainage, I don't know where to, but it must have been a glorious drainage because everybody kept their urine out of their BM because the BMs were always picked up and put in little honey buckets. The honey buckets were pretty good size. I'd say they'd hold 2 gallons at least. Maybe some of them a little more.
Quite large.
Quite large, because they didn't gather them every day. But they'd gather them quite often, a whole sling of them down the street. One person didn't gather all of them at the same time. Somebody else was gathering them at 10 o'clock. Somebody else was gathering them at 4. So it was fresh because it was not stained particularly.
What did they do with the honey pots then?
The honey buckets were taken to the farmers and sold for fertilizer. Oh, and they had beautiful gardens. And they took the urine to keep the bugs off. They didn't worry about bugs on any of their garden because bugs don't like urine smell. In fact, hair sometimes was soaked on purpose so that they could hang it on fence posts or around the fence because it smelled of human. And the squirrels or the deer did not want to go and get touched with any of that. They had a gate. We could open the gate and go in, close the gate, gather our not their vegetables, our vegetables, if we had any. None of their vegetables, because it had their fertilizer on it. And it was just horrible to pass these fellows with their honey buckets on a board across their shoulders, and a bucket on each one. Their honey buckets, and they were together to fertilize their gardens and keep a whole lot of the bugs off.
Did you have a garden?
I had a little bitty patch because I wanted a garden, but I had it in the yard. I didn't have it where the drain was because I didn't want any of that. But several people at the beginning of the year, my first year, had some beautiful greens. Oh, how wonderful. I'll just wash these in my jerry can of water, wash it in the sink, and we'll drain the water out. And somebody told me, no bugs? Wonderful, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not either. Don't you know what they put on it? No, but it don't look like they put anything. Yes, when it's very young, they sprinkle it lightly with urine, and it holds a whole lot of this smell to it. Have you smelled your greens? No. I don't think I want to eat any more of them, because I don't know how often they get out there and sprinkle them.
No, I agree.
And I want no part of that. But they don't waste anything. It's over I don't know whether it's a volcano or just hot water. Maybe it's over a hot spring outlet. I don't know what it is. But if they want to cook some beans, it takes them a long time to get cooked. They put a little sinkage in the ground, no more than 2 inches deep, and put their pan in that little sinkage. And the water heats it enough that it may take hours and hours and hours to get their beans completely done and soft, like you would want them. But that hot water under the ground eventually will cook anything you put on it. But you put that little sinkage in the dirt so that you get it a little closer to the hot water that's under the ground. It's wonderful to be just walking along in the street, looking around. Who's got pots on the ground this day? I wonder if anybody ever steals their pots. Probably if they're hungry. Probably not. Take it to their house that has paper doors. Wouldn't make any difference. They'd never recognize their pot through a paper door. But strange. We lived there about a year in GI apartments were emptying out. And Dad said, honey, would you like one of these? Yes, I would. Okay, the next one that empties out, you get. Fine. We'll move into a house. A regular house that's got stucco walls and frames between and wooden doors inside and out. Hot and cold water. But I still can't drink the water. I have to use a jerry can for drinking water or cooking water. If you're not familiar with a jerry can, they all look alike. And you can tip them to get the water out because they are almost flat. And you can tip it just a little bit and get just a little bit of water. Or you can release it and it goes back to its straight up frame. And it's gray. They're all gray. But they have this lid, screw-on lid, that keeps any bugs out. And it's easy for anybody to use them because the water is balanced in a jerry can. When it's nearly empty, you tilt your jerry can forward, way down forward, and it'll stop. And then you can pick up the back and tilt the back to the front and get some more water out to fill your pot or your pan. Jerry cans are really very good, and they're pleasant to look at. There's good water. You can drink just a little bit, but just don't take too much out that you don't want. You just take what you can drink. Don't pull a full glass. You dip it what you want to drink. And if you don't want to drink it anyway. You poured it. That's just like going to dinner. And I'll say, clean plate. You haven't eaten all your plates yet. Empty glass. You drank all your water yet. Go back and finish it. Kids didn't particularly like that. But it was fun because they didn't have anything else to do much. But there was a big old lot out on one side. It had big flat rocks on it. And a couple of kids could be watched from the house go out and play in those rocks, and step on them, sit on them, build houses out of them. And I decided, no, it's nearly dinner time. I'm going to go out there and get Gene, it's lunchtime. He couldn't hear me on purpose, I'm sure. But that's all right, too.
I'm sure, too.
Until I got a little closer and a little closer, a little closer. And I stepped on one of these rocks that they had been playing on, and it bounced up from the other end and hit me in the ankle. And I still have a dark ankle where that big old rock hit me.
Really?
And it's been years and years and years.
And it was all Gene's fault.
And it was all Jane's fault. He could step on it all day long and jump on it, and it didn't hurt him a bit. But on other places, Dad thought it was fun to go on down the drainage where the ditch was and step on rocks to get over on the other side. Oh, that's all right, too. I like that big old rocks as a path through the water. Let's go walk through the water again. Up and back and forth, back and forth. It was still fun. Have you ever walked on big fat rocks in the water to get on the other side of the water? A good sized ditch, or I guess you'd call them a creek. But over there we called them ditches. But whatever they were called, they were fun. And Dad could take Gene by the shoulders and help him across. Oh, that was fun. But Gene was scared of it. Oh, he didn't want to go by himself. No, Mama. No, I'm not going to take you. I'm not going to be responsible for you sliding off and getting in that creek. So Dad would have to take him. That's just a fun job. Help your little boy across the creek on big flat rocks and never get your feet wet. Oh, but that's all right. He was fun when Dad was there, and he didn't even want to go close to it if Dad wasn't there. And I was very thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But some things were fun, some things were not. I said, Dad, I need to go to the commissary. I'm leaving Gene here with the maid. They'll play something, or the houseboy will get out and play with him. Well, when I'd come back, Gene would just hold up his arm so glad. Did you bring me some? I want some baka. What's baka? Nobody would tell me. And finally, I got this boy off to one side. And I says, hey, you, what's baka? Gene's calling for baka. He's not calling for baka. No, he's not. Well, that's what he's saying. Baka is a bad word. Don't let him use that bad word. No, that's a bad word. Oh, he's been thinking everything was baka. because I didn't know what it was. Bill didn't know what it was. And they would laugh when he would say baka, because I thought he was cussing. That was just one of their words. I don't know which bad words. Apparently, it was a whole line of them.
Gene would be doing that. Yes, he would.
Yes, he would, a whole line of them. And I would ask him, what's that? No. Baka.
Uh-huh. You see this, Gene? We know about you.
By the time Bob came along, we were in the house. Instead of the Japanese house, we were in the Army-built house for people in the service houses. And we could go to the club, the big club everybody went to, especially the men in the morning. If they didn't have a money job, the women slept late, and their maid took care of the children or cleaning the house.
Did you have a maid?
Oh, yes. And I told the maid Maka was not to be mentioned in the house, nor outside either. That I had been told it was a bad word, and I don't want anybody using it. Bad words. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
That's funny.
No, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny to go to commissary in the morning either. I mean, the early morning. After 10 or 10:30, I could go and not worry about it. But if I went earlier, there'd be a bunch of fellows out in the sunshine. Oh, drying off. They got to go to work. They've just had a bath. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go when the men have just had their bath.
No.
I'll go a little later when it's the women, and it's before they take their children, because the little children love to go ahead and dirty the water. And I don't want to get stepping on something. No, thank you.
No.
No, I don't want to go from about 10:30 till 2:30. At 2:30, it's usually the young girls. I say young girls, anywhere from 10 to 20. They love to go and shake their butts. Okay, flirt with a man, because a man that's not working can go at it any time. He's not working, so he's 11 years old, and he wants to go down there and watch these pretty girls shake their butts. So, okay. And I would wait and go in my hole in the kitchen, in the bathroom, turn on some of the cold water because the water was too hot, constantly flowing through. And I couldn't turn it off, but I could turn the cold water on until my water was all right. And I did all of my bathing inside. I didn't go out there at any time because the smaller babies would get their bath just before being put to bed. Naturally, that's a good time for a little one to have a nice warm bath. And they don't care who shakes their butt. So it was unusual living there. However, we all adjusted to it that first year, but we were thrilled when the GI homes were opened. Or somebody left to go home, and somebody else got their home. And your dad looked and waited and watched until a home was being opened, and no upper tree. No colonel was waiting for it.
All right, I'm going to stop this for a little while.